Well, this is RC Jim, or Jim the Plane Doctor, here with another quick fix video for you. We did our normal sort of bouncing around with this little thing, and loves to poke its nose in the ground, so I busted this off for the nth time. So that's going to be a quick and easy fix to glue that one on there. Fin came off the bottom. The tricky bit is I thought that I'd found the piece that had come off here, but in actual fact I found a piece off of somebody else's plane. So I'm going to have to reconstruct something in there for that. Yeah, I could just glue it on like it is, but anyway. And then for the nth time, we've drug the tip on the ground. And so this has got to get glued together. And it has to get glued on here, and it has to get glued on straight. So since we got Dr. Jim in the house, what we're going to do is try to make a splint that we can put on there. I've got greaseless paper on there, baking paper, and then we'll tape that up there as it sets, and that'll have that more or less straight. We'll be using epoxy to glue it on, and hopefully that'll do the job. So let's give it a go. Okay, so with the epoxy we just dab a bit onto the inside here. I don't take it all the way out to the outside necessarily. You can clean it up with alcohol, or some people use acetone. Myself, I don't. I know with the covering, the acetone will dissolve the stick 'em on it and the colors and so forth. And then just a bit of tape on there. Electrical tape is not going to stick to the epoxy, so that's always a good choice. Generally you get away with masking tape as well. So that's good there. Now for our splint job. Okay, so we got our glue here. This piece will go on first. This one I'm being a little bit more careful to get it in all of the spots. Yeah, and we want a little bit to stick it to the wing itself. Okay, that's oozing out a bit. I'll clean that up in a minute. And then this bit. It's only a tiny bit where it's sticking to the wing. Okay, that's on there like that. Now, I'm just evening out. I'm not worried about a little bit of stuff over top. Just sort of evening out some of the drips. And then we got our splint. So the splint's going to go here like this. Get some of our electrical tape. with the electrical tape, hopefully the decal is not going to come off. But that's always a risk when you're taping over there. Either the decals or the paint itself can come loose. But electrical tape tends to not be quite as sticky as some other tapes. Hence, I'm sort of making sure that this has got plenty to anchor it in place. But I think that's holding that together quite nicely. And yeah. Okay. So that's all set to harden up. And now we just have our fin on the bottom. Okay, for our fin, what we're going to do is we've got it was all broken off here. So this is the broken sort of section. So we've cut that off. We then cut a piece of balsa that can fit in there. And it's going to get carved down. So those both look kind of straight, but let's just make sure. It doesn't have to be super straight because it's going to get sanded anyway to get in place, but I want a nice, good surface to stick onto. Okay. I don't want any sawdust on there. Okay, so we'll glue that in there. Get that roughly in the middle. Doesn't make a lot of difference because it'll get sanded both sides to fit it in there. And there's our artificial limb that the doctor has ordered. And we will just sort of balance that somewhere. Eventually that's going to go in there like that. So why don't we just let it sit there. Well, here it is. All nicely done up with a little balsa insert, sanded down, nice and strong. So now it's just a matter of sticking it on there. I've sanded off the paint, which will help it stick better. Okay, a little bit more vertical, I guess. Okay, get our splint off. And yay, the decal stayed on. Nice thing about the electrical tape. Lost a little bit of paint where the damage was, but that's to be expected. And obviously we got a little bit of touch-up painting to do, given the fin on the bottom. Okay, and the nose. Got a bit of a downturned nose. We won't worry about that. It'll stick in the ground again, but at least it's on there. So, all done. Well, our F-16 is all set to rip and roar again. Well, thank you for watching this video. Trust it's been helpful. And of course, this guy will get repaired again because that little thing that likes to bounce around, and on a grass field, you can expect it's going to poke some things into the ground again. But at any rate, yeah, gives you a few ideas as to how to go about it. If you found this helpful, then hey, subscribe. It'll keep these things all right at hand to where you can come back and have a look at the various things that you need to know and things you want to do, see how it can be done and maybe how not to do it sometimes. Yeah, it's all there. So also have a look at those other videos on the site. There's a link there that you can go and see some other ones of interest to you. I'm RC Jim signing off. You have a great day and happy flying.